Mm.
Good evening,
True.
everyone.
Good evening.
Now it is audible now.
Yes,
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 sir.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Screen is visible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Now we
Yes,
move
yes.
to hello. Now we move to the our next part. That is IS 36961 1987. That is safety code for scaffold and ladder. This standard lays down the safety requirement for erection, use, and dismantling of scaffolds, for providing access and for supporting workmen, equipment, and material for any construction work, including maintenance, repair, demolition. The requirement of various components of scaffold, the care in their use and storage is also covered. A temporary structure consists of standard footlock, ledgers, generally of bamboo, ballies, timber, or metal to provide working platform for workmen and material. In the course of construction, maintenance, repair, demolition, as and also to support. But now bamboo, baileys, or this type of material is not allowed. So first of all, scaffold may be constructed either timber, baileys, bamboo, or metal. First, light duty scaffold. लाइट ड्यूटी मीन्स जिसके ऊपर हम मिनिमम वेट डाल सकते हैं. It is not exceeding 300 kgs. So light duty scaffold means timber. On light duty scaffold, work shall not be carried on more than one platform at any time, and the platform shall able to maintain a safe working load of 150 kg per meter square, subject to total load on each platform is not exceeding 300 kg. Heavy duty scaffold may have two working platforms based at one time, suitable to maintain a safe working load of 300 kg per square, subject to maximum platform load. Now, what are the general safety requirement? Scaffold shall be provided for all work that cannot be safely performed from the ground or from solid and construction. Every scaffold and every part thereof in support shall be of good construction, suitable and sound material, and having adequate strength for the purpose for which it is used, and shall be properly maintained. The erection, alteration, and removal should be done only under the supervision of men who are thoroughly experienced in this work. The use of barrel boxes, loose style block, or other suitable, or other unsuitable object as support for working platform shall not be permitted. Every scaffold shall be securely supported or suspended, and shall, where necessary, be sufficiently and properly shuttered or brass to ensure stability. The use of cross brasses or framework as a mean of access to the work surface not be permitted. Every platform, gangway, run or stair shall keep free from any unnecessary obstruction, material, rubbish, and projectile rail. While they become slippery, appropriate shade, appropriate steps shall be taken by way of sanding, cleaning, or otherwise to remedy the defect. Each support member used in construction runway, platform, ramp, and scaffold shall be securely fastened and brass. The supporting member shall be placed on a firm, rigid, smooth foundation of a nature that will prevent lateral displacement. All fastener and anchorages shall be inspected by a competent person. Where plank butt joint, two parallel putlock shall be used, not more than 100 mm apart, giving each plank sufficient support. Nails shall be penetrate to the holding piece to a depth of at least 12 times the diameter of. If scaffold are to be used to a great extent or for a long period of time, the regular plank stairway width enough to allow two people to pass shall be erected. Such a stairways shall have handrail on both. A scaffold platform plank shall not project beyond its end supports to a distance exceeding 4 times of the thickness of the plank unless it is effectively secured to prevent tipping. Cantilever of scaffold plank shall be avoided. Ledgers or putlock should be erected to support the end of such a plank. All scaffold or working platform of any nature shall be securely fastened to building or structure if independent of the building. They shall be brass or guard properly. Grease, mud, paint, gravel, or plaster, or any such a hazardous substance shall be removed from the scaffold immediately to prevent slipping on the platform. Either sand or sawdust or other material shall be sprayed. Men shall not be allowed to work from a scaffold during storm or high winds. After a heavy rain or storm, the scaffold should be inspected by site in charge. Scaffold should also be inspected every fortnight during use by him or again before starting the use. In case both light and heavy duty scaffold are used in close vicinity, conspicuously placed notice board shall be indicated the light duty scaffold and the limit of their uses. Safety code should strictly follow standard safety requirements are just as important for temporary structure as they are for permanent structure. Precautions against particular hazards. First, electrical. Care shall be taken to see that no uninsulated electrical exists within 3 meters of the working platform, gangway, runs, etc. of the scaffold. While carrying the bars, rod, or pipe of any kind, conducting material of length greater than 3 meter in the vicinity of electric wire. Special care shall be taken that this do not touches the electrical wires. Fire hazard care shall be taken against any possibility of timber scaffold catching fire. So these are the electrical hazard. Now mechanical or traffic hazard. Care shall be taken to see that no part of scaffold is struck by a truck or either a heavy moving equipment, earth mover or other, and no material shall be dumped against it. Scaffold on thoroughfares shall be provided with warning lights if general lighting is not sufficient to make it clearly visible. Access to fire, cable tunnel, hydrant, etc. shall remain free at all times. Care should be taken for underground cables and equipment when part of scaffold or other fastener have driven in the ground. Scaffold on other rigging involving human safety should be tested with load at least 3 times what 3 times that which it will carry in service. Now we shall move to 2.8 IS 275 1964 steel scaffolding. The standard lays down the requirement for material fabrication and performance of steel scaffolding constructed with tubes, fittings, and or prefabricated frames suitable for the use in the normal building construction work. It does not include suspended or slung scaffolding. Scaffolding constructed with material other than steel are also not covered in the standard. Steel tube for individual component type scaffolding shall be heavy class welded or seamless tube of 40 mm normal bore for steel tube for structural purpose. All type of scaffolding shall be capable of carrying and transmitting to the ground. All resultant load may themselves or jointly with load carrying parts of the building which have achieved adequate strength for this purpose. The scaffolding shall adequately rigid with all stages of erection and dismantling where the support cannot be fixed vertically due to any reason. The eccentricity of the loading so carried should also be taken into account. The brass should be designed to carry, in addition, any applied horizontal load and the horizontal load induced by the non-vertical support and additional horizontal load equal to 1 by 100 of the vertical load carrying by each platform and applied on its upper surface and 1 by 100 of vertical load carried by the ground applied at the base of scaffold. The supplier shall, when required, furnish the purchaser a certificate that tubes, fitting, and prefabricated frames comply in all respect with the requirement of the standard. Various components for independent as well as putlock scaffold shall be so designed and manufactured that the scaffolding erected with them gives satisfactory performance and fulfill the requirement laid. All fittings shall be from flaws and other defects. They shall be so designed that when fixed in the normal manner for service as a scaffold, they cannot be loosened or rendered unsafe under normal use by casual or accidental blow or by movement of traffic upon the scaffold. A right angle coupler shall be so designed and constructed that it will pass the test for distortion and either rotation test or slip test, whichever is selected by the manufacturer. The swivel coupler shall be designed and constructed so that swivel faces are smooth and in sufficiently close contact to prevent the connecting pin being subjected to bending stresses. The grip afforded by a single coupler, which may be attached to the intermediate or ancillary putlock, shall offer adequate resistance to horizontal or axial rotation, slip, or accidental displacement of a putlock. The joint pin shall be self-centered so that in the both the tube which connect an equal length of pin shall be engaged with of the tube. Each spigot of the joint pin shall extended no less than 75 room on the internal surface of any tube which conform to the standard and shall provide an effective bearing area The end of reveal pin removed from the tube shall provide bearing surface perpendicular to and concentric with its axis and having minimum width of 48 mm. The putlock shall either be constructed from tube conforming to the requirement or be so designed and constructed as to provide at least equivalent resistance or to bearing to shear and deflection. A putlock end shall have even bearing surface at least 7.5 centimeter long and at least 5 centimeter wide, measure from the end of tube. The plate shall have level surface of at least 50 by 50 centimeter or equivalent area concentric with axis of the shank to which it shall be securely attached. The steel section shall also be suitably painted or otherwise treated for protection against the rust and corrosion. All fittings shall be suitably treated so as to render them resistant to corrosion. Tubes fitting prefabricated frame shall be marked with manufacturer name, manufacturer name and trademark. Tubes fitting prefabricated frame may also be marked with ISI certification mark. Hazard in the construction industries. The construction industry is associated with various hazards due to the nature of work involved. This hazard can pose risks to the health and safety of the worker if proper precautions are not taken. Some common hazard in the construction industry is first, fall hazard. Fall hazard. The fall from height are significant hazard in construction. Worker may fall from scaffolding, ladder, roof, or other elevated surface. Lack of fall protection measures and improper use of equipment are major contributor to fall related accident. So maximum participation of lethal or fatal is fall. Then struck by accident. Worker can be struck by heavy object such as falling tools, equipment or construction material, moving vehicle such as crane, truck or forklift can also pose a struck by hazard if proper safety protocol are not followed. Caught in or between hazards. Construction worker may face hazard when caught in or between the objects or machinery. Example include getting caught in moving machinery, being compressed by collapsing structure, or being trapped between equipment and material. The next hazard is electrocution. Construction site often involve electrical installation and wiring, posing the risk of. आवाज आ रही ना सबको? Am I audible?
आ रही है।
Yes, yes,
you are
बीच बीच
audible.
में आप बोलते जाइए क्योंकि मुझे आपकी स्क्रीन दिखती नहीं है, मुझे खाली अपनी स्क्रीन दिखती है, तो पता ही नहीं लगेगा, कभी
अरे जब भी
कभी
आवाज
लूज हो जाता है. हाँ,
जब भी आवाज ये हो जाएगी वीक तो वी विल नोटिफाई यू, नो प्रॉब्लम। थैंक यू।
आवाज आ रही है ना? नो इशू. देन नेक्स्ट है आपका hazardous substance. Construction worker may encounter hazardous such as asbestos, lead, silicon and various chemicals. ये जो है ये लॉन्ग पार्टिसिपेट करता है. जैसे एस्बेस्टॉस है, सिलिका है, ये क्या होता है, फेफड़ों में जाके बैठता है. जैसे लास्ट हमने सेशन में देखा था कि ये लॉन्ग टर्म इफेक्ट देता है, हेल्थ इफेक्ट क्रॉनिकल. तो exposure to this substance through inhalation, ingestion, or skin contact may result a long-term health effect, including respiratory issue, poisoning, or cancer. Next, noise and vibration. कंटिन्यूअस साइड पे जो नॉइस होता है दैट इज नॉट बियॉन्ड योर डेसिबल, जो होता है 85 डेसिबल के ऊपर, तो वो आजकल के क्या है, आपकी हियरिंग प्रॉब्लम शुरू कर देता है. So construction site are noisy environment exposing workers to a high noise level that can cause hearing loss if proper hearing protection are not used. Vibration generated by power tool machineries can also lead to a long-term health issue like hand-arm vibration syndrome. Next, confined space. Working in confined space such as trench, tunnel, or crawl spaces can pose risks of oxygen deficiency, exposure to toxic gas, entrapment, inadequate ventilation, lack of proper safety measures increases the dangers associated with confined space. Then structural collapse, building collapse, trench collapse, failure of temporary structure like scaffolding can result in severe injuries or fatalities. Poor construction practices, overloading, inadequate inspection of structure contribute these hazards. Ergonomic hazard, construction worker often involves manual handling or heavy load, repetitive tasks, awkward postures, which can lead musculoskeletal disorder. मस्कुलर स्केलेटल डिसऑर्डर को एमएसडी भी बोलते हैं, तो इन शॉर्ट इसको एमएसडी बोलते हैं. एंड इंजुरीज if not properly managed. Heat and cold stress, construction workers are exposed to extreme temperature, both hot and cold, which can cause heat-related illness like heat exhaustion, heat stroke, as well as cold-related conditions such as hypothermia or frostbite. Then next, fire and explosion. Due to welding, gas cutting, smoking, gas cylinders, scattered wooden material, rubbish, paint, thinner, temporary shade, even your sawdust, that may be lead to fire or dust explosion. So this may be a hazard. Then electricity. Some risk factors are overload and underground working close to power line, lack of coordination, and using untrained worker for tasks that involve electricity. To avoid injuries, it is important to know the exact location of all live conductor at the project site. The workforce must be qualified and well trained, and ground tool must be provided. Material handling, no train or excessive weight lifting, improper or failure of lifting tackles, etc. Transport accident, untrained driver, not obeying the traffic rules, reversing without signaling, overspeeding, overbreakers, poor braking, poor lighting. These are the main contributor for transport accident. Then PPs related issues, not using the helmet, safety shoes, hand gloves, safety belt, respiratory, etc. Next, being struck by an object. Construction are busy environment with constant movement from the heavy duty equipment such as crane, forklifts. Being struck by the moving object, it is a particular hazard on the site. It is important to have proper marking for hazard zone and appropriate barrier system. It is hazardous material, many chemicals used on the construction site, and plenty of them are toxic or respiratory irritant. Chemical spill can cause severe burn, release toxic fume, personal protective equipment, and knowledge about the substance can reduce the risk of accident. Then repetitive strain injury and other physical alignment. Construction workers suffer from a musculoskeletal disorder. As a result of an accident or thorough repetitive movement, workers are also at the risk from the repeat use of particular machinery equipment such as ground working equipment or vibrating power tool, resulting in condition called hand-arm vibration syndrome or blue finger. This can cause loss of many hours of work. Adequate training, protective gear, proactive protocols can help to prevent the injuries. Scaffolding,
सर ब्लू फिंगर क्या होता है सर?
क्या होता है, हम कंटिन्यू काम करते हैं कोई भी वाइब्रेशंस पे, जैसे वाइब्रेशन पे काम कर रहे हैं विदाउट प्रॉपर पीपीज है, जैसे हैंड ग्लोव्स होते हैं उसके हेवी, आपने वो ड्रिलर की है जो कंक्रीट तोड़ता है, तो
जी
अगर
देखा था।
कंटिन्यू वहां पे काम कर रहा है तो उसकी उंगलियां जो है ना वो सेंसेशन खो देती है और उंगलियां ब्लू तरह की होने लगती है, तो उसको ब्लू फिंगरिंग कहते हैं। सेंसेशन सब चला जाता है, या उसको हैंड आर्म वाइब्रेशन सिंड्रोम भी बोलते हैं। तो जब इवन रिपीटेटिव वर्क आप जब करते हो ना, एक जैसा ही आपने टेनिस बॉल एल्बो सुना है?
जी सर।
क्या होता है टेनिस बॉल एल्बो?
सर नाम सुना, अभी ध्यान में नहीं आ रहा।
हाँ, जनरली ये क्रिकेटर्स को होता है, जो एक ही तरह से रिपीटेटिव वर्क हो रहा है। उसके बैट्समैन का काम क्या होता है? बॉल को बाउंड्री तक पहुंचाना या हिट करना। सो इट इज अ रिपीटेटिव वर्क होता है। तो उसके जो शोल्डर्स होता है ना, शोल्डर का ये एल्बो होता है, एल्बो में गांठ पकड़नी शुरू हो जाती है, जिसको टेनिस बॉल एल्बो बोलते हैं। तेंदुलकर को हुआ था। वो तो आपके सामने खेल रहे हैं, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वो प्रैक्टिस भी रिपीटेटिव कर रहे हैं। सो एक ही तरह का काम करते 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 उस ऑर्गन में कुछ डिफॉर्मेशन तैयार होना शुरू हो जाता है। क्लियर?
क्लियर सर, क्लियर।
इसीलिए रिपीट वर्क में हमेशा वर्कर को चेंज किया जाता है। This caused loss of many work hours, inadequate training, protective gear, protective protocol prevent injury. Scaffolding में, when scaffold are not assembled or used properly, fall are more likely. Protecting worker from scaffold related accident can help prevent. Trench collapse cause dozens of fatalities. सबसे ज्यादा वही होती है। Ladder stairways प्रॉपर नहीं होता, स्लिपरी होता है, तो ऊपर से बंदा गिर सकता है, तो बहुत फैटिलिटी उससे भी होती है। क्रेन्स, एक्सीडेंट कैन ऑकर व्हेन वर्कर आर नियर एन ओवरहेड लोड और विद इन द क्रेन। स्विंग रेडियस जो उसकी होती है उसके दाहिने में आते हैं, क्योंकि जो ड्राइवर होता है वो तो अपना काम करता रहता है, अगर उसको अप्रोच भी करना है तो सेफ डिस्टेंस से उसको आई टू आई कांटेक्ट करके फिर हाथों से इशारा करके पहले उसको रोकना है, फिर उसको अप्रोच करना है। So crane fatalities can also happen when boom of the crane or its load line touches to power line. Weather monitoring is key when working with crane, since work can be suspended as soon as the wind conditions start to become dangerous. Chemicals cause chemical bond, respiratory issues. They can also trigger fire explosion and causing severe injuries to worker. Forklift, while operating the powered industry truck, approximately 95,000 of employees are injured and more than 100 are killed a year. Forklift turnover represents a significant number of these fatalities. Head injuries, serious head injuries can cause by falling object. These are often fatal or can result in permanent disabilities. Other noise, vibration, dust, gas, fumes, kerosene, night work, overtime, intoxication, lightning, health hazard. इंटॉक्सिकेशन में जो आपका आता है कि बहुत वर्किंग साइट पे देखा होगा कि लेबर जो आती है तो ड्रिंक करके आते हैं या नशा करके आते हैं, ठीक, तो वो अलाउ नहीं करना है। नेक्स्ट, प्रिवेंट prevent control measures of hazards in the construction industry. Preventive and control measures are crucial for managing hazard in the construction industry and ensure the safety as well as as well as well-being of the worker. Some common preventive and control measures that can be implemented are risk assessment, to conduct the comprehensive risk assessment of the construction site, to identify potential hazard, evaluate the likelihood and severity of each hazard, and develop appropriate control measure to mitigate the risk. Next, training and education. Provide adequate training, education to all workers regarding safety protocol, hazard identification, and safe work practice. Ensure that workers are knowledgeable about its potential that may encountered and the measures to prevent the accident. PPE, provide appropriate PPE to worker. Appropriate means proper ISI mark. बहुत बार ऐसे भी देखा जाता है साइड पे गॉगल्स दिए जाते हैं, सेफ्टी गॉगल्स, बट सेफ्टी गॉगल्स की विजुअलिटी जो होती है ना इतनी थर्ड क्लास होती है कि नहीं होना तो एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है। तो एज अ सेफ्टी ऑफिसर इट इज योर ड्यूटी टू चेक कंडीशन and quality of PPEs. So ensure its proper use. These may include safety helmet, safety glasses, gloves, high visibility clothing, respiratory protection, hearing protection, fall protection equipment. Regularly inspect and maintain the PPE to ensure its effectiveness. Fall protection. Implement fall protection measures such as guardrail, safety net, or personal fall arrest system. When working at height, conduct regular inspection of scaffolding, ladder, and other elevated work platform to ensure their stability and safety. Scaffolding safety ensure that scaffolding is erected, inspected, and maintained by competent person following established safety guide rule. Regular inspection scaffold component, provide safe access egress, and use guardrail and toe board to prevent fall. सेफ मटेरियल हैंडलिंग, सेफ मटेरियल हैंडलिंग के लिए मैंने वो भी बताया कि जब भी आप ऊपर में वर्कर काम कर रहा होता है तो जो छोटे छोटे इक्विपमेंट होते हैं दैट शुड बी टाइड विथ हिज बॉडी। तो क्या होगा अगर हाथ से गिर भी जाता है तो वो नीचे नहीं गिरेगा किसी के ऊपर, क्योंकि शार्प ऑब्जेक्ट अगर आपके सर के ऊपर किसी के गिर गया तो क्या होगा ये आपको भी पता है, ठीक। Then safe material handling, the train worker on proper lifting techniques and provide mechanical aids such as crane, forklift, hoist for heavy or awkward load. Encourage worker to use lifting when necessary and provide clear guidelines for material storage and handling to prevent struck by an accident. Hazardous substance management. Identify, assess potential exposure to hazardous substance, implement appropriate control measures such as engine control, ventilation system, personal protective equipment to minimize exposure. Follow relevant regulations for handling, storage, and disposal of hazardous material. Machinery and equipment. Ensure that all machineries and equipment are properly maintained, inspected, and used according to manufacturer guideline. Provide appropriate training to operator. Implement logout tagout procedures. Use machine guiding to prevent contact with moving part. Emergency preparedness. Develop and communicate emergency response plan for potential incident such as fire, chemical spill, structural collapse. Conduct regular drills and train worker on emergency procedures. Evaluate routes and first aid. Regular site inspection. Conduct routine inspection of the construction site to identify hazard, verify compliance with safety regulation, address any safety concern promptly, encourage worker to report hazard or near miss accident to facilitate timely corrective action. Communication and collaboration. Fostered a culture of safety by promoting open communication and collaboration of all stakeholders. Encourage worker to actively participate in safety discussion, provide feedback and suggest the improvements, regularly communicate safety policies, procedure and update to ensure everyone is aware and informed. Remember, safety is a shared responsibility and proactive approach to safety prevention control is essential for maintaining a safe construction environment. यहां तक किसी को कोई है? क्योंकि नेक्स्ट चैप्टर जाने से पहले हम इस पे डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं. कोई डाउट?
I think clear है, ज्यादा कुछ
सारा कुछ इतना वो है नहीं.
और
अब हम
all points एकदम clear.
आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी. क्लियर आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
कोई इश्यू नहीं है इसमें.
मेरी आवाज सबको क्लियर आ रही है?
हाँ सर आ रही है.
तो कोई कुछ
सर,
बोल रहा है उसकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, क्लियर नहीं आ रही है मुझे, इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ. तो नेक्स्ट चैप्टर के ऊपर मूव करें हम लोग.
यस सर.
टाइम क्या हुआ? 8:45 हुआ. ठीक है, चलते हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर की ओर. कंस्ट्रक्शन इक्विपमेंट्स की कौन कौन से इक्विपमेंट कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट के ऊपर यूज होते हैं. तो सेफ्टी इन द यूज ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन मशीनरी, हेवी एंड लॉन्ग आइटम. सेफ्टी इज द पैरामाउंट इंपॉर्टेंस, ये हमको सबको पता है. व्हेन यूजिंग हेवी एंड लॉन्ग कंस्ट्रक्शन मशीनरीज एंड इक्विपमेंट, some key consideration to prevent measures to ensure safety. क्या क्या करना है? Operator training and certification. Ensure that operator of and long construction machineries and equipment receive specialized training and certification. Training should cover safe operating procedure, equipment limitation, load capacities, and proper use of attachment. Equipment inspection and maintenance. Conduct thorough pre-use inspection to identify any damage defect, or malfunctions before operating the machinery. Follow a regular maintenance schedule to ensure that equipment is in optimal working condition. Pay close attention to critical components such as brakes, hydraulics, brakes, and structural equipment. Load capacity, center of gravity. Understand the load capacity and limitation of machineries or equipment. Ensure that loads are properly secured and distributed to maintain stability and prevent tipping. Consider the center of gravity when lifting or moving heavy or long equipment to avoid imbalance. Proper rigging and lift technique. Sorry. Proper rigging and lifting techniques. Use appropriate rigging and lifting equipment such as sling, chain, and hook for lifting heavy or long equipment, a long item. Ensure that rigging equipment is in good condition and properly rated for the load being lifted. Follow safe lifting practices, including use of correct lifting points and maintaining the clear communication among the operator or signaler. Clear communication and signalization. Establish clear communication protocol between the equipment operator, spotter, and worker involved in the moving of heavy or long item. Use standardized high signal or communication device to ensure effective communication during operation. Clearly mark and communicate the presence of heavy or long item in the work area to alert other and prevent accident. Traffic control and side layout. Implement traffic control measures such as barriers, signs, and designated pathway to separate machineries and equipment from pedestrian and vehicular traffic. Plan and organize the construction site layout to provide adequate space for the movement of heavy and long items, considering clearance and obstruction. Personal protective equipment. Ensure that operator and worker wear appropriate PPE such as helmet, safety glasses, high visibility clothing, and gloves. Provide additional protective equipment such as steel toe boots, safety harness as required by the specific machinery and task. Training and communication. With worker, provide training to all workers on the potential hazard associated with heavy and long item and the necessary precaution to be taken. Conduct regular meetings and toolbox talks to reinforce safe practices and address any concern or question. Adequate lighting and visibility. Ensure proper lighting in the work area to enhance visibility, especially during the night time or low light. Use reflective marking or warning signs on heavy or long items to increase the visibility and prevent collapse. Site-specific risk assessment. Conduct a site-specific risk assessment to identify potential hazard related to use of heavy and long machineries equipment. Implement appropriate control measures such as barrier, warning sign, additional safety measures based on the identified risks. It is crucial to prioritize the safety and promote a culture of vigilance and adherence to the safety protocol when working with heavy and long construction machinery equipment. Regular training, communication, ongoing monitoring of the equipment, and work practices are essential to, to ensure a safe working environment for everyone involved. नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ कोई पढ़ेगा? हेलो
जी सर।
हेलो। हाँ, नेक्स्ट
जी
करें
सर।
पढ़िए
Assessment.
कोई।
Site specific risk assessment.
नहीं,
Conduct a site specific risk assessment to identify potential hazards
वो चल रहा है क्या
related
हमारा?
to the use of heavy and long machinery and equipment.
हम्म,
सर एक
हमारा वो
क्वेश्चन
हो
था
गया।
मेरा।
हाँ।
जो ऊपर जैसे जो लिखा है स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग एंड सर्टिफिकेशन, सो
हम्म,
सर्टिफिकेशन में अगर जैसे मैंने एक क्रेन लिया है तो उसका मुझे सर्टिफिकेशन में क्या क्या चीज सीखना है?
जो आपकी क्रेन है, जो लिया है आपने, वो सारे इक्विपमेंट का, जैसे कि उसका SWL कितना होगा, कितने इस पे उठाएगा, कितने एंगल पे होगा, वो सारा उस जो OEM है, जिसको हम ओरिजिनल मैन्युफैक्चरर कहते हैं, वो देगा। उसमें वो सारे सेफ्टी फैक्टर इंक्लूड होंगे। वही सारी चीज आपको आपके लिफ्ट के ऊपर या क्रेन के ऊपर इनबिल्ड करनी है।
सर
उसके
वो
बाद वो
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग देता है कि सेफ्टी ऑफिसर वो करता है, बनाता है?
सेफ्टी ऑफिसर नहीं, वो देगा। सेफ्टी ऑफिसर को पता होना चाहिए कि क्या क्या होता है। वो सारी डॉक्यूमेंट्स उससे मांगने हैं। अगर
ओके।
1 साल के ऊपर होता है। हाँ, कोई पूछ रहा है?
नहीं नहीं सर, बताइए ना, आप बताइए।
हाँ, जैसे
Load
मेरी साइट पे कोई क्रेन आ रही है,
load test
अगर वो
उसका
नहीं
एनुअल
है।
होता है.
नहीं, पहले तो ये है कि वो नहीं आई है, विद इन 1 ईयर की है, क्योंकि आप तो क्रेन लोगे नहीं एज ए साइट पे, वो तो थर्ड पार्टी से ही आएगी। तो जो नई क्रेन अगर 1 साल के अंदर अंदर है, तो वो सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स, पार्टी डॉक्यूमेंट सारे सारे वो आपको लाके दे देगा। अगर 1 साल के ऊपर हुआ है, तो उसका TP से लेके सारी डॉक्यूमेंट्स आपको उससे मांगने हैं कि थर्ड पार्टी इंस्पेक्शन उसका हुआ है, उसके डॉक्यूमेंट्स, वेइंग का जो लिफ्टिंग है उसके डॉक्यूमेंट्स, इवन जो टूल टैकल्स या ये होते हैं आपकी लिफ्टिंग जो बेल्ट्स वगैरह होते हैं, उसके भी लगेंगे।
जैसे
उसकी
कि
कंडीशन क्या है,
हुक
वो
का एनडीटी भी चाहिए. हाँ,
सब
हुक का
कुछ
एनडीटी भी चाहिए.
बिल्कुल, सारे जितने हैं वो सारा सबका चाहिए। अगर 1 साल का नहीं हुआ,
यहाँ पे
1 साल के अंदर अंदर है,
सो कि
तो वो
यहाँ पे
आपको देगा ही
क्वेश्चन
देगा।
उसका शायद क्वेश्चन उसका ऑपरेटर रिलेटेड है क्या मशीन रिलेटेड है, वो मुझे जरा एक बार क्लेरिफिकेशन चाहिए.
वो मशीन रिलेटेड पूछ रहा है कि साइट पे मशीन आता है तो मुझे क्या क्या देखना है।
ओके ओके.
ऑपरेटर रिलेटेड में तो आपको एक ऑपरेटर चाहिए, एक सिग्नलर चाहिए, जो
यस
रिगिंग
सर,
में
यस सर,
एक्सपर्ट हो।
यस सर, और ट्रेन होना चाहिए।
हम्म, तो ट्रेनिंग हो गया, सर्टिफिकेशन वो हो गया, तो साइट स्पेसिफिक रिस्क असेसमेंट आप पढ़ रहे होते। कौन पढ़ेगा साइट स्पेसिफिक रिस्क असेसमेंट?
Yeah, conduct a site-specific risk assessment to identify potential hazards related
हम्म,
to the use of heavy and long machinery and equipment.
हम्म,
Implement appropriate control measures such as barriers, warning signs, or additional safety measures based on the identified risks.
हम्म,
It is crucial to prioritize safety and promote a culture of vigilance and adherence to safety protocols when working with heavy and long construction machinery and equipment.
yeah,
Regular training, communication, and ongoing monitoring of equipment and practices are essential to ensure a safe working environment for everyone involved.
चलो देन यहाँ तक हमारा हो गया कि क्या क्या होगा। नाउ कंस्ट्रक्शन इक्विपमेंट इंस्पेक्शन सर्टिफिकेट एंड चेकलिस्ट, इसके बारे में देखेंगे अब। A construction machinery equipment inspection certificate and list are essential document used to ensure that construction machinery and equipment are in safe and proper working condition before they are used on the construction site. जो आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे, this document help verify that equipment meets safety standard and is ready for operation. Here, general outline of what in an inspection certificate and checklist may include construction machinery equipment certificate. The certificates serve as a formal declaration that the equipment has undergone a thorough inspection and is deemed safe and fit for the use on the construction site. It is typically issued by a qualified inspector or a competent authority responsible for inspecting and certifying construction equipment. Construction machinery equipment inspection checklist. An inspection checklist include a various items that need to be inspected on construction machinery. The check sheet may cover the following. First, general information, equipment details, means make, model, serial number, etc. Date of inspection, inspector name and his signature. Safety component. Check the condition of safety features such as safety guard, emergency stop button, warning sign, etc. Structural integrity. Inspect the overall structure of the machinery for any sign of damage or wear that could compromise its stability. Mechanical component. Check the engine, transmission, hydraulic system, brakes, and other mechanical part for proper functioning. Electrical component. Verify that all electrical system control and indicators are working correctly. Fluids and lubrications. Check fluid level, that is fuel, oil, coolant, hydraulic fuel, and ensure proper lubrication. Tires and tracks. Inspection tire or track for wear, damage, proper inflation. Operator compartment. Ensure that operator compartment is clean, comfortable, and equipped with necessary safety features. Documentation. Main. Confirm that equipment manual, maintenance record, and any required permit or certification are available. Load testing. For lifting equipment, verify that load testing has been conducted and it is within its applicable limits. Other specific checks, depending on the type of construction, there may be, depending on the type of machinery, there may be a specific item that need inspect, such as boom, bucket, fork, etc. It is important to note that specific limit on the check sheet may vary depend on the type of construction machinery being inspected. The inspection should be carried out by a qualified trained inspector and any identified issue be addressed and resolved before equipment is put into the service on the construction site. Regular inspection, maintenance are crucial to ensure the safe and efficient operation of construction machinery throughout its service life. Importance of third-party certification and applicability of the construction equipment. The importance of third-party certification for construction equipment can be overstated as it plays a crucial role in ensuring safety, reliability, and quality of the equipment used in construction site. Key reason why third-party certification is vital for construction equipment. One, objective evaluation. Third-party certification involves independent evaluation by qualified experts who are not affiliated with the manufacturer or seller of the equipment. This objectivity ensures that the evaluation is unbiased and provide an accurate assessment of the equipment's performance and compliance with the standard. Safety assurance. Construction equipment is often used in hazardous environment. Any failure or malfunction can lead to an accident, injury, or even fatalities. Third party certifications ensure that equipment meets safety standard and is fit for safe operation on construction site. Compliance with standard and regulations. Many countries and regions have specific regulation and standard that construction equipment adhere to. Third party certification verifies that equipment complies with this requirement, making it legally acceptable for use in construction project. Risk mitigation. Construction equipment represent a significant investment for construction companies. Third party certification helps to mitigate risks associated with purchasing standards or non-compliant equipment, reducing the chances of costly breakdown or illegal liability. Quality assurance certification indicate that the equipment has undergone the rigorous testing and inspection to verify its quality, durability, and performance capabilities. This assurance gives buyer confidence in the equipment ability to stand demanding construction tasks. Access to the market. Third party certification is often a prerequisite for assessing certain market or bidding on specific construction projects. Many government and private contractors require equipment to be certified before it is used in the project. Environmental consideration. Construction projects, especially those involved in public infrastructure and environmentally sensitive area, require equipment that meets specific environmental standard. Third party certification can verify equipments comply with this requirement. Applicability for construction equipment. Third party certification is applicable to a wide range of construction equipment, including but not limited to excavator, loader, bulldozer, crane, forklifts, concrete mixer, pavers, grader, compactor, aerial work platform, example scissor lift, boom lift, telescopic handlers or telehandlers. Each type of equipment has its own set of safety, performance, and regulatory standards. Third party certification ensures that each piece of equipment meet these requirements. Construction companies and contractors should prioritize purchasing or renting certified equipment to ensure their project runs smoothly, safely, and efficiently. In conclusion, the third party certification is of utmost importance for construction equipment as it is guarantees compliance with safety and quality standard, reduce the risk and provide confidence to the construction profession in the equipment performance and stability for the job at hand. Next, competency of the driver for equipment operator for various construction equipment. The competency of a driver or equipment operator in the construction industry is of utmost importance to ensure the safety, efficiency, and productivity of the construction operator. Different type of construction equipment requires specific skill and knowledge, and a component operator should possess the following key attribute. क्या क्या होना चाहिए? टेक्निकल नॉलेज होना चाहिए, उसको सेफ्टी अवेयरनेस होना चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस एंड ट्रेनिंग की कॉम्पिटेंट होना चाहिए ऑपरेटर, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए कंस्ट्रक्शन इक्विपमेंट का, एंड फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग एंड सर्टिफिकेशन उसका होना चाहिए. एबिलिटी टू रीड एंड अंडरस्टैंड मैनुअल्स, वो इतना अंग्रेजी जानना या हिंदी या इंटरप्रिटेशन जानना चाहिए कि टेक्निकल स्पेसिफिकेशन का मीनिंग क्या होता है, क्या लिखा है। अटेंशन टू डिटेल्स। Operating heavy construction equipment require precision, attention to detail. Competent operator must able to perform tasks accurately and efficiently. Communication skill. Good communication skill are essential for operator as they often need to coordinate with other team member, signal personnel and supervisor on the construction site. Problem solving skill honi chahiye. The competent person should be able to identify and troubleshoot the common issues with the equipment and know when to seek help from maintenance or technical support. Spatial awareness. Operating large construction equipment demand excellent spatial awareness to avoid collision with other equipment, structure or worker. Physical fitness. Operating construction equipment can be physically demanding. Competent operator to be in a good physical condition to handle the equipment effectively. Adherence to regulation. Operator comply with local, national, and industry regulation governing equipment operation, safety, and environmental services. Different type of construction equipment requires special competency. अब कौन-कौन से है उस वो भी देख लेते हैं हम. Some common construction equipment and their specific operator competency include excavator. Excavator कैसा चाहिए? Precise in digging, trenching, material handling skill, knowledge of bucket capacity and safe digging practices. Bulldozer, grade and earth expertise, ability to use blade effectively for leveling and pushing material. Loaders, skillful material loading, dumping operation, understanding load capacity and proper bucket use. क्रेन का कैसा होना चाहिए? प्रोफिशिएंसी इन लिफ्टिंग एंड मूविंग हेवी लोड, नॉलेज लोड चार्ट एंड रिगिंग टेक्निक. फोर्कलिफ्ट्स, सेफ ऑपरेशन ऑफ फोर्कलिफ्ट फॉर मटेरियल हैंडलिंग. Combined skill of excavator, loader for digging and material handling. These are just few examples. And these are many other type of construction equipment that require specific competency, ensuring operators are properly trained and competent is vital for maintaining safe and productive construction site. Now move to next point 3.5. Total कितना है? एक पेज, दो पेज, तीन, चार, काफी लंबा चैप्टर है ये.
एक 40 तक ले लीजिए आज के दिन.
हाँ ये देख लेते हैं, इसको खत्म कर लेते हैं. काफी लग जाएगा वो अगर पूरा चैप्टर कंप्लीट यस हो गया. चैप्टर 4 हो गया. तो डिफरेंट अर्थ मूविंग इक्विपमेंट पे शुरू करते हैं हम, 3.5 खत्म कर लेंगे। The earthmoving equipment refers to variety of heavy machineries commonly used in construction, mining, and other industries to excavate, move, or shape large quantity of earth, soil, rock, and other material. Some common type of earth moving equipment include excavator. Excavator are versatile machines with booms, stick, and bucket attached, used for digging, trenching, and material handling. Material handling. Safety measures include proper operator training, regular maintenance, and adherence to safety operating procedures, especially when working near utilities or in unstable soil condition. Then next, bulldozers have a large, powerful blade in at front, used for pushing soil, debris, and other material. Safety measures include proper training for operator, regular inspection, your stability on slope, and using seat belt for operators protection. Loader are used to scoop, transport material such as soil, gravels, and sand into truck and other locations. Safety measures include proper operator training, regular maintenance, and proper load securement with transporting material. Grader have a long blade used for traveling or surfaces such as road or buildings. Safety measures include proper training, maintaining proper visibility, ensure stability on slope or even surface. Scrappers Scrappers are used for large scale earth moving and hauling of material over longer distance. Safety measures include proper training, maintaining proper balance and stability, and adhering to load limits and safe operating speed. Backhose ladder, Backhose loader combine the capability of loader at the front and an excavator at rear. Safety measures include proper training for operator, ensure stability during excavation, and following safe operating procedure for both loader and excavator function. Trenchers, trenchers are used for digging trench for utilities, pipeline or drainage systems. Measures include proper training, ensure proper clearance of utilities, and proper shoring sloping of trench to prevent collapse. Compactor Compactor are used to compress soil, gravels, and other material to achieve a stable and solid foundation. Safety measures include proper training, ensure proper ground stability before compactation, and wearing appropriate personal protective equipment to protect against dust and vibration. Articulate truck are used for hauling heavy material over rough. Safety measures include proper loading, load securement, follow safe operating procedure, and regular maintenance of the truck and trailer components. Scrapper are specialized earth moving equipment used for large scale excavation, hauling of material. Safety measures include proper training, maintaining proper balance, stability, and adherence to load limits, safe operating speed. For all type of earth moving equipment, it is essential to follow manufacturer guideline, conduct regular inspection, perform proper maintenance, provide operator training, and enforce adherence to safe operating procedure. Regular risk assessment, site specific safety plan, and ongoing communication among operator, supervisor, and other worker are crucial to maintaining a safe working environment when using earth moving equipment. यहीं आज हम रुक जाते हैं, कल से अर्थ मूविंग इक्विपमेंट के आगे में देखेंगे।
Okay,
हेलो,
no problem. Thank you.
कल से 3.6
ओके
के
सर।
आगे देखते हैं।
तो एवरीडे क्लास है कि कैसा है अभी, क्योंकि सैटरडे संडे डिस्कस हुआ
नहीं,
था आगे।
सैटरडे संडे को नहीं हुआ था, इसलिए मंडे ट्यूसडे को रखा था। मोस्ट प्रोबेबली सैटरडे संडे को ही रहेगी, अगर कुछ मेरे और कोई लाइबिलिटी आती है या कोई प्लान होता है तो उस हिसाब से उसको चेंज करेंगे।
तो कल रहेगा क्लास, बराबर ना?
कल नहीं रहेगा, मंडे कल था,
ठीक है,
आज था। कल 4 ही लोग थे, तो कम्युनिकेशन उसी दिन कर दिया था, बट लोग ज्वाइन नहीं किए थे।
एक्चुअली कल तो मैं तो ट्रैवल कर रहा था, इसलिए आई कुड नॉट ज्वाइन।
ओके, नो इशू,
सर ट्रैवल के इशू के लिए नहीं कर पाए ज्वाइन।
नो इशू। अगर आपका कोई
ओके,
इशू
तो
होता है तो आप
next-
सब्सिक्वेंटली बता दिया करो,
श्योर
क्योंकि
श्योर।
वो
ओके ठीक है सर, नेक्स्ट टाइम में ऑलरेडी अपडेटेड।
एक्चुअली सुनिए ना, मैं भी कल थोड़ा सा उसमें था तो ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाया, तो सर थोड़ा कल की रिकॉर्डिंग जल्दी मिल जाएगी तो बेटर होता पढ़ने के लिए।
वो डाल दी है तो कल की रिकॉर्डिंग
कल की रिकॉर्डिंग डाल दी क्या?
डाल दी है उसने, 9/9/3 का डाल दिया है। चलो, गुड नाइट।
ओके, गुड
Yes, sir.
नाइट, थैंक यू।
ओके सर, गुड नाइट।
गुड नाइट सर।
नाइट एवरीवन, थैंक यू ऑल।